So we're back in the garage. I'm gonna try and list a few of the headlights tonight, but I figured before I get started, I kind of walk you guys through my exact process with listing. Like I'll show you prepping it, and then I'll do some screenshots and show you exactly how I'm listing it. So let's get started. So this is what I picked out today to use as my example for listing. It's an old VW Beetle steering wheel. One of the shops gave it to me. He was gonna use it for a project car, but I think he had another one that was in better condition, so he just gave me this one to resell for him. So I'm gonna take a couple minutes. Obviously you can see it needs a little bit of work here. Before I even get into listing it on eBay, I'm gonna clean it up first. So I'm actually really happy with how this thing just turned out. I was pretty much using a magic eraser the whole time with water, but this had marks all over the back of it and the front of it, but it's really clean now. This thing's probably 30, 40, 50 years old at least. The only thing that didn't really come out was this metal piece is a little bit corroded, but that's probably normal for these. Pretty much all the scratches and the marks are gone now. And this is important to do for every single thing you list. Taking those few minutes just to clean this probably doubled, maybe even tripled the amount of money I can get for it. So to really maximize the money you can make on eBay, make sure you're taking the time to clean things and prep them and make them look as best as possible. All right, now that it's all cleaned up, the next thing that I do is try and look for a part number. This is just the easiest way to figure out exactly what you have and how much it's worth. So I try and find that number and then plug it into eBay. All right, so I got the part number here, and let's plug it in and see what comes up. So it looks like there's a bunch of them. $100, $130, $150. Let's go to sold listings now. Filter by sold. And we can see how much these actually sold for. So here's one that looks pretty much the same, except ours is missing the middle emblem. But this looks pretty similar. This one has some cracks in it. Let's see what else. This looks like the exact same one. Again, more cracks on this one. This was not sold for $200. This one was best offer at $200. I don't think eBay shows you what the seller accepted. So the next thing I'm gonna do is go to sell one like this. And then from here, I'll basically make you a template of that other listing for your item. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill all this out right now. And then after I'll come back and explain what I did. Right, so I filled everything out, so let me walk you through it real quick. I usually always use the maximum amount of photos that you can take. I just try to get as much detail as I can of the item as possible so people know exactly what they're buying. It just eliminates a lot of headaches in the end. So as you can see here, I took a lot of different pictures, all different angles, close-ups from far away. I zoomed in on the part number as well. And then I changed the title around a little bit to something that I wanted it to be. I just think this is a lot cleaner than what the original seller had it as. And then I cleaned up the specifics here a little bit. And then I just wrote this short description in a few seconds, just going over the part number, the current condition of the item, and then the fact that I'll ship it out next day after they pay for it. And I would say never really spend too much time on this. Just go over the important things that you would want a buyer to know before they made a purchase. And for my pricing, since there was only 2 items, I'm just going to base it off the highest one and put best offer. And then we'll see in the first few days if I got any views or any watchers or even any offers. I'll just base the price off that. And then for shipping, I always do, I don't know the package details because I haven't boxed it up or weighed it yet. And then for any bigger items, I always do UPS ground because that's just the cheapest option for me most of the time. And then as far as the cost goes, I usually always do flat shipping or free shipping. And for flat shipping, I usually try and guess and think like what would be the most money I would have to pay to ship this as far as possible in the US. So for this, I'm just gonna guess $25. I usually don't do the calculated one just because it gets too complicated for me. Flat shipping works perfectly fine for what I do. All right, then we'll hit list. And now that it's up, we just let it go and wait and see what happens. I'll make another video as well whenever the steering wheel sells. I can just show you like how I'm gonna package it up and get it ready for shipping. And I got plenty more to the list as well. Tomorrow I'm probably gonna come down here and do at least a shelf or 2 of these headlights. But I hope like that walkthrough was pretty insightful or helpful in some ways. And if you have any questions about anything at all that I covered or didn't cover, just leave a comment and I'll make sure to respond to you. Thank you for watching. I'll try and make another one tomorrow listing a bunch of these headlights. That's pretty much it for now. So see you in the next one.